Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about my thoughts on Daredevil and She-Hulk episode 8. So I've been waiting for this moment to come, for Daredevil to come, and he has finally come. And so, just like with many people, I've been keeping up online about how this Daredevil is going to be in the MCU. It's a brand new version. It's not the one from Netflix. Ever since they brought in the Kingpin, I think like a year or two ago, and Hawkeye, I've been very worried. I even made a video talking about how great the Netflix versions were, and I was afraid the MCU was just gonna do like baby humor, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And so I was just worried, I was concerned like many other people. Now, before I go any further, let me say that no, I am not one of those type of She-Hulk hating type of people. I'm not one of those type of people that's just gonna review bomb it. I'm not one of those type of people that's all like, oh, it's woke and everything like that. If you ever seen my channel, you know exactly what I'm about. You also know I don't watch She-Hulk because I'm not into legal dramas. And the only legal drama comedy I like is Ally McBeal, and She-Hulk just doesn't do it for me on any kind of level. Not comedy or action or superhero, nothing like that. And, so I just don't watch. And so, except for that one time I watched the Madison episode, that was just hilarious. But, I decided I was going to watch it after that, see if it was any better, and it was just kind of boring and dull. I don't care about her personal life and stuff like that, it's just I want a superhero show, and so I'll wait for the movies and stuff like that, And so back to Daredevil. So, with newer updates, they show what the outfit's gonna look like. It's gonna be his classic yellow-red outfit. Well, actually, it's red burgundy and but you know what I'm saying. And so I made a video about that. I was kind of concerned, even though I do like the comic book yellow-red one. I prefer the red one, basic red one, you know what I'm saying? And because you know how Kevin Feige is, he loves comic book accuracy on costumes. I have a feeling Wolverine's going to be in that yellow-blue outfit. That's very hard to translate into live action, but I think they'll do a pretty good job, even though I'll prefer him to be in yellow and black or yellow and brown, but hey, whatever. Because that end post-credit scene in that one Wolverine movie, that was a nice suit. I'm still pissed he never wore that. And so so I wasn't thrilled about the whole yellow burgundy suit that Daredevil was gonna wear. I was like, oh god, they probably gonna get him some baby humor and stuff. And then they reported that this one's gonna be a more lighthearted, comedic version of Daredevil. I'm like, ah, crap. The moment I read that, I'm just like, ah, crap. Because I knew exactly what was gonna happen. And so my fears started to mount more and more. And I was reading comments online. People, you have the hard defenders of Marvel and their humor talking about, well, Daredevil was like comedic in the comics. He wasn't never always like dark and gritty. That was just the Netflix show. No. Even though I don't read comic books, I know how Daredevil is in the comics. Yes. He has his comedic side and he also has his dark, gritty side. And everything. It depends on which version you read. It depends on what comic you read, this and that. So I wish people would stop saying that he was only dark and gritty in on the Netflix show. He was dark and gritty in the Ben Affleck movie one as well. And not only that, but the moment they said he was going to be comedic and stuff, the first thing I thought about was his appearance in Fantastic Four, the animated series. I like that episode. I like that Daredevil. I like how comedic it was. So I kind of figured he'll be like that. And I was right. He is similar to the one from the Fantastic Four cartoon series. However, I prefer the one from the Spider-Man cartoon series. And just to let people know, once again, he was dark and gritty in that Spider-Man episode. Very dark, very gritty. And so watching this, I'm like, okay, let's see how this is going to be. Maybe it won't be so bad. And so I started watching it for the humor and the action and how the suit translate on screen. For me personally, it's just not doing it. Like my fears came true. Now, it's not bad humor whatsoever. No, it's not that. It's no Thor Love and Thunder. And in fact, it's not even Disney baby humor. It's just humor. But for me, that's not the Daredevil I love. The one I fell in love with was the one on the Spider-Man animated series, the one that was darker and grittier than the one from Fantastic Four, with the Ben Affleck movie and the Netflix series. He just kept getting darker and darker, and I love it. He's like Batman with superpowers and a lawyer and who's blind. And so, like, the fight scene between those two, I couldn't even really get into the fight scene between him and She-Hulk because she kept talking throughout the entire fight. And her ADR was like off. Like, you know how you're watching the scene in the show in the movie and like the 80, I can't say it now. The audio stuff is like off when they're talking and stuff from the booth they're in. It felt like that. Then like he kept making jokes and quips and everything, and he was like comedic. Then he got demasked by her. I'm like, oh come on, man. I get it, she's stronger than you and stuff, but come on, man. And that fight scene between those two was brief. It was very, very, very brief and everything. Plus, I'm getting kind of tired of her smacking her hands together to do the sonic wave thing. It was smart and effective because, of course, he has to see through hearing. So it messed him up and everything. That was very smart of the writers. But she always does that and it gets annoying. Like, do something else. I get it, she's inexperienced, but still. And so, like, it's weird seeing Daredevil for me very comedic. I've only seen him be that way one time and one time only. It's weird seeing him smile. It's weird seeing him make jokes. And it's weird seeing him make quips and everything. Like, that's just not the version I like. I like dark. I like gritty. And a lot of people are still going to argue online, well, he's like that in the comics. Yeah, he is. But, you know, it's like the whole Batman thing. Batman was comedic back in the day, even in live action. Then all of a sudden he went darker and grittier, just like in most of the comics, and people prefer that version. And it's weird when you see Batman smile or make jokes, like in the Batman Robin movie. It feels off, and that's how I'm feeling right now. I feel like this Daredevil is in that Batman and Robin movie. You know what I'm saying? So if you like the more comedic version, because a lot of people love the comedicness of the MCU, I particularly don't. And so this version is just not for me. It's similar to how Kingpin was in that red and white outfit and stuff. Not only that, but then when they started beating up on the bad guys, the only part of the choreography that I liked was when he used his billy club and he swung it at somebody and it detached to make that grappling rope and it smacked somebody in the head and retracted back. I love that. It's something that was totally missing from the Netflix show. It was in the comics, it was in the cartoons, and it was in the Ben Affleck one. And so I miss seeing that. But other than that, the choreography of like him fighting people was just kind of very watered down from that of both the Ben Affleck thing and even like the Netflix thing. And he was just walking, punching people, kicking people, and there was no flair to it. There was no good choreography to it. It was just kind of weak, in my opinion. There was no flipping. And I'm just kind of like, it's not the restriction of the suit, because we seen what that's like in the Netflix show is restricted, but he can still do stuff. And I'm just kind of like, so now I have bigger fears for his Born Again series. I'm just like, if this is the Daredevil they're going to give us, then for me, no thank you and stuff. Hopefully they'll make it dark and gritty, but you know how Kevin Feige is. He wants this to be family entertainment. You know, and I just want this to be dark and gritty. And I would love it if they put the double D's on like his suit. God, that does not come out right. The two D's on his suit, yeah, that's better. I want to see that so bad. I think only Ben's suit only had that. And so, oh, and also him and She-Hulk banging it. So she's finally getting herself some. But I'm kind of like, who's he dating in the MCU? Apparently not Karen no more. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.